Welcome everybody to the Pittsburgh Steelers franchise rebuild. I'm live today with the preseason heading into year 6. As we're coming off a disappointing year, one that had led to a lot of changes in the offseason, replacing 60% of the offensive line, and with me wanting to take this offense in a bit of a new direction, greater emphasizing the run game. I've added in a new running back, 3 new offensive linemen, 2 big free agent pickups, a top 15 draft pick, and I have also been making a lot of playbook changes, and the preseason today is going to give us a look at how it all performs ahead of the regular season, see if I have to make any more tweaks, or if we are ready for prime time. Trade for Joe Book and develop him, please. We have some other quarterbacks on the team right now, but I will say Joe Book, now with the New Orleans Saints after being traded in the offseason, is a free agent at the end of this next year, so he's going to be available. But welcome to the stream, everybody. Thanks for stopping by. These preseason streams are fun, and we know from the Jaguars series that sometimes the events here have a big impact on the rest of the series. It was a preseason stream where the Chuck Johnson phenomenon began. If you go back and watch that Jaguars franchise, that preseason was the start of something special ultimately, and I had no idea. Well, now Chuck Johnson coaching this team is trying to find the new answers, because last year was just so disappointing. This is kind of a decisive year for Marquise McLeod. Do we extend him long term? The ratings are fine, but it's just all about how does he play and does he carry us, the way a great quarterback is supposed to. So thanks for stopping by to the stream, everybody. We'll get going here in just a moment. Got 3 preseason games to go through. We have training camp as well. I never made Vincent Moon in this specific series. I made Johnny Sampson and Joe Book. I think Johnny might have disappeared. There are running backs in the series that are lower rated than he was, but I have not been able to find him anywhere. It doesn't seem his NFL career panned out, but I can't say it's disappointing because we all expected that. Maybe my next road to glory will have a more relevant long-term player. Let's see what I got for upgrades available here ahead of preseason. All of this, by the way, the big stuff will make it into the next episode as we get into season 6 here pretty shortly. Mickens will be RB1. Yeah, so the way it's going to be split up here is right now I have the RB1 listed as Felix Morant, but the third down back as Sean Mickens, which will give them a pretty good, kind of back and forth there. And if you wanted to see some of the playbook changes that I've made, we can go take a look at that quick. One second. I always turn off the main menu in Madden just because there's so much real football footage. I don't know if they'll hit you for copyright on this one, so let me open up that playbook quick. All right, so we're on version 4 of the Steelers. It's taken a few tries here. So during the Monday night game, I was spending a lot of time getting numbers right on the team and going through the playbook and looking at what I had in terms of play diversity and what concepts we had. And I already know that we're going to see a lot more run-heavy offense. So before, I had 28 plays here in the first down game plan. 13 of them were runs. Now we have 32 plays, and 17 of them are runs. You'll see a good mix of 2 tight end sets, some 11 personnel, and I've tried to make sure that a lot of the passes that are there are a little less aggressive. There will still be some chances. I don't want it to just be completely underneath only. But I think where you're going to see a great shift is like on second down. I know like second and long, I had it be very pass heavy, but second and long, they consider it here to be anything more than 8 yards to go. So I didn't want to be as pass heavy. There are still going to be, a few different throws in here that I think fit. But I think we're going to see some really fun plays today. I added in a couple new ones here. You'll see this boomerang slot swing was one I threw into a couple formations or game plan spots here. Second and medium is going to be a little bit less pass emphasized. So I think that we'll be running the ball significantly more this year, and this stream is going to give us a look at just how this offense performs, if I have to make any final updates, and then, evaluating new players, too. We have a new running back to take a look at, a rookie receiver drafted in the second round, so I'm excited about it. Wing T. No, I think we have plenty of talent to not quite go to the archaic offenses. More I form on first and 10. Yet, admittedly, there's not a lot of I form. I still have it more two tight end as opposed to that. And one reason is because in this game in CFB 26, anybody that's like unblocked on the defensive line or even linebackers a lot of times, they just react and make plays so quickly. And I've taken that into account. Like, one of my favorite concepts in the game now is zone split, because of the way the tight end crashes against that backside edge. And when you leave the edge unblocked a lot of times, I think you get into a lot of problems in this game and in CFB. And I think it's easier with two tight ends versus a fullback on the field. Yeah, I did not get the 6'9" receiver, Hugh Lewis. That's going to be interesting when the Bengals games come around this year to see the 6'9" receiver, who I guess is going to be their wide receiver 4 right away. This could really impact his development if he is playing under Ben McGrath. We'll see. Late second rounder. Maybe it takes a little bit of time. But, if he's the T. Higgins successor, that is very scary. But yeah, I'm sure we will see some I form, and if it works really well, especially with all the changes we've made, I could update it to incorporate even more I formation. Just right now, it's not all that emphasized. Want to make sure we get a little bit of two tight end work in there. The play action game works better with that too, I think, than out of the I form. The fan base hates Chuck. Yeah, they're hard to convince, but after last year, I'm not sure I blame them a whole lot. All right, before we get too far into today's stream, I do want to say that today's stream is sponsored by Control Freak. Been talking about them for a few months now. Control Freak makes controller accessories. Perhaps you've, used the extended thumbsticks for, playing first-person shooters. That's what I primarily got into their products for, back in the day, playing a lot of Call of Duty and everything. But they make a lot of different thumbsticks, and with my code, MrHurricane, you can save 12%. Check out the link down below if you're interested. I use Control Freaks on all my PlayStation controllers. I have them on my Xbox controller as well. I just like the grip. Makes the controller feel better. I think it takes a good controller, it makes it even better. And especially if you play shooters, Battlefield's out, Arc Raiders is out, that looks cool, Call of Duty's coming. I've been using them on Battlefield myself, and I've been enjoying myself quite a bit. So again, the link down below will take you to their page, and my code MrHurricane will save you 12%. Let's play some football. I think Coach Firing might have to get turned on at this point. The issue is that I think Madden lacks anything that makes that experience interesting. Like, I could get fired, but then what? There's just there's not a good coordinator path that takes you along an interesting journey. It's just punishment without something afterwards. Otherwise, like, I should have been fired a long time ago in this series. Absolutely. I think, you know, maybe after, like, Season 3, I'm not sure I would have made it to a playoff appearance with this team at all. But alas, really the only good experience in this game is to be a head coach with the same team without ever leaving. I've even heard that Coach Carousel is kind of a miss in, like, CFB. Like, the carousel doesn't perform that well. The offers don't always seem to match the kind of results you're getting. So I would turn on coach firing if I felt it was actually going to make it interesting rather than kill a series. Kane, you convinced me that CJ Prosise was going to be a star. Him and Jay Samaro. Did I sell you on Jay Samaro? Admittingly, it'd be too long to know if I could have done that. I was definitely selling people on CJ Prosise, though. I was a huge believer. I was excited to have him in my Chargers franchise, man. I added another running back, by the way. Zion Morris. I'll go over him later. He's a receiving back. So a little bit different archetype. Just thought we could use another player. I was interested. Should fire coordinators when you think you should be fired? I kind of did that this last offseason. I cleaned house. I have a new OC. I hired Mike Vrabel as my defensive coordinator. So I did do that. So why don't I play the games on Madden like I used to? Mostly because I've been dedicating that time to doing CFB series the last 2 years, and I just think it'd be tough to pull off one alongside Madden. And I don't really think franchise has gotten so much better, or Madden's gotten so much better, that I'm missing out on a lot. I enjoy doing this series. But ultimately, this was, you know, I've been doing this type of series for almost a decade now. It's just as time goes on, I've been doing less and less series because the ones I'm doing are getting meatier and more time consuming for each video and everything. It's kind of tough enough right now to be doing one on each of the 3 games I play between CFB, Madden, and MLB. I have an MLB video coming out tomorrow. It will not be the last one with the Marlins. I still have some more to do. These things are so unnecessary. All right, a couple of those out of the way. Let's move on with Justin Guerrero. You know, I really did not think I'd have a chance to take a receiver of his caliber. I assumed he'd find his way into the end of the first round or even earlier in round 2. So with Guerrero, we're getting a very smooth transition into the next wide receiver 2. And, you know, depending on if we pay Marquise McLeod, we're going to have to find more of those answers that don't eat up nearly as much of the salary cap. And his skill set, I mean, he's got like every box checked. He's a route runner and a great athlete, and I'm excited to start developing him to see what kind of a player he's going to be. Want to emphasize the route running and have him be more of the slot. And we know slot receivers tend to eat in Madden, especially when they're good players. So I think he's going to be in for a pretty good career. I'm so sorry to hear about that, Big Faraj. I'm Very sorry to hear that he's not doing well. So I'm happy to provide this distraction. Hope you're doing all right. What stat line would be good enough to justify a max contract for McLeod? Really, at this point, it isn't coming down to statistics. It's more of how does he play late in games, and how does he perform in those close games against good teams. At this point, he's put up the stats. I think he's in that Kirk Cousins mold right now where, the numbers look really good, but you're not winning the meaningful games. We don't have a playoff victory yet, and that's going to be part of what makes our decision. I would say that before last year, it was 90% pay McLeod. Now, I do think it's a bit of a coin flip. I don't think that it's a guarantee if he has a good year. Because we know that traits matter so much. And just that quarterback personality matters so much. It can be as simple as just moving in the pocket, avoiding sacks, getting the ball out. The traits that lead to taking a lot of sacks are hard to overcome. And I tried to overcome it by just being an aggressive vertical offense, and we averaged 20 points a game. So that just doesn't make any sense to continue doing that. No series of running backs had a better group, or no series had a better group of running backs than the Chargers series. Zach Bogan, Barry, and Secchi, fan club member. We had some good ones in there. Steven Smiley. Man, that 4-game stretch of his. I still think about that 4-game stretch and doing a video on it because it was a legendary time on the channel. I think getting Mason Goddard keeps us out of trading for Joe Book right now. I just think that there's a better chance that we explore it in the off season. Manu Andrade is going to be my linebacker here that I start messing with. I thought I was doing the linebacker chase drill, but I suppose he can show off his versatility as a pass rusher too. And you know what? He's kind of, well, I was saying he was dominating this drill. Yeah, I was looking for trades in the offseason, of course, for a couple offensive linemen. And I wasn't just trying to get picks, because I know that in the draft, I'm not going to be able to solve every problem. And so I kind of like to solve small problems with trades. You know, a linebacker who can play now and give us good cover talent. If I want to solve that problem in the draft, I need to find a steal or make like a top 50 pick. So instead, I just traded an offensive lineman and got Manu Andrade. 2 years until he hits free agency. He will already, I think, be the best cover linebacker. And I don't think I realized as he gets dominated here out of bounds. I think Peyton Wilson regressed pretty hard this offseason. And he's more going to be just that third linebacker now. Just a fast run and chase guy who's not going to be in coverage as much because we have Andrade and we have Chris Leonard. Let's see. I kind of like to use training camp on more under-the-radar players because, like, an X Factor at 24 doesn't need the boost as much as anybody else. Hard to show if you're a good defense when the offense is selling you out the whole game. I absolutely agree. And one thing that I've just, like, paid so much more attention to over the years is just how one thing in the game will affect everything else. And I do think that in certain circumstances, you just cannot get a clean evaluation of a certain side of the ball. I think it's, you know, that way in real life. I think it's that way in the game. When you have an offense that averages like 16 points a game, you're never going to get a clean evaluation of the defense because they'll probably be like gassed in the fourth quarter and they won't be able to hold on much longer once they've been on the field for 38 minutes and haven't gotten any breaks. So I think that if we have a better offense, we naturally have a better defense. All I can do really is continue to add good young players and not just stick with all the aging talent. And I think I've added a piece or two every year. So I'm not worried at all about the defense. If there's anything that, you know, I could look at is just if the aggressive Todd Bowles scheme is still right. But I'm sticking with it for this year. My Pats playing tonight. Kane's streaming. I get to sleep in tomorrow. That's a good day right there. You got the Jets tonight against the Patriots. I'm very excited to watch Drake May in prime time. Like, the bit I've gotten to watch of him this year has been extremely impressive. I know I'm ready for, like, a full game of it. Hopefully the Jets find a way to keep it interesting, though. I'm not sure I have much faith in that happening. The Patriots look legitimately great this year, and I would be, you know, thinking of them as the AFC East champions for the first time here in a little bit. Love from the UK. Need more vids while I wait for my ACL surgery. I'm sorry to hear about the ACL. But if you need some long-form content here amid the rehab, I got you covered. Let's see. Now let's go Nick Bernal. Norby in the Kane Hall of Fame. I think he gets his own wing for sure. Good question. If you do move on from McLeod, do you trade him? I think that if things go poorly this year, we tag and trade. And we'll see, you know, if we end up having to play another quarterback this season, what that, you know, leads to in terms of the evaluation. That's not fair. Bernal doesn't have that speed. That was a good throw. That was crazy. McLeod's like, what are you talking about replacing me for? Yeah, his cap number's big, and if we wanted to sign him long term, we'd be looking at like $55-ish million a year for now. And that's the price today, not necessarily the price tomorrow, because if he continues to get higher ratings, then he's going to have a higher contract demand every time his overall goes up. And I'm certainly not signing him early in the year. I'm not sure I can sign him until the season's over. Honestly. Had to throw the stream up on the TV screen. You know, more and more people seem to be watching YouTube on the TV. Something I wouldn't have really ever thought was the case. I know I've seen some data on it before. I'm not sure I've gone into my own analytics to see, because I think I have that info. What are y'all watching on? I tend to think that most people are just watching on mobile. Now that I think about it, there's a decent bit of YouTube on the TV that goes on in this house, too. PC and TV, phone, laptop. I get a little bit better at this drill, I think, every time I do it. There we go. Bullseye. That was nice. That's a miss. See, I watch YouTube on, like, every device imaginable. I watch on my PC oftentimes. I have a tablet that I like if I'm, you know, cleaning up the kitchen or putting away dishes. I usually have YouTube on there. Sometimes on my phone while I'm eating breakfast or something. All right, so we wrapped those up. Let's see the position battle drill here. Running back would be an interesting one here if it's what we end up with.
Some turmoil threatens their roster in the early season. A challenge has been made for a top spot on the depth chart. Competition breeds success.
Dishwashing Kane highlights. I am maybe the best dishwasher that's like in this room right now. Yeah, I do wash a little bit. Usually it's putting away the dishes though. Mason Taylor wants to start. Okay. Yeah, I got Antoine Westbrook here getting the reps. Mason Taylor. We'll talk after preseason. You are the only person in the room. No, there are 328 of y'all, and then me. I would win the gold here in the dishwashing Olympics. What creators are you watching these days? You know, my wife and I, we watch an unhealthy amount of queso. It's football season, so I like to watch different football content. You know, That Franchise Guy, football analysis, Brett Coleman, bootleg football. I watch a lot of that this time of year. Watch, you know, different game collecting related videos, old retrospectives on like PlayStation 2 games. I think I've already set up my depth chart too to get going here with the game. That Franchise Guy is goated. His content's extremely good. You know, if you guys want to see some, you know, watch breakdowns of, you know, the action after Sunday's over. I enjoy his power ranking videos, just giving his thoughts on every team. Also a fellow Twins fan. Yeah, I do watch Bengal. I like Bengals videos a lot. Admittingly, it's a little bit harder with like the really long CFB content, but I really enjoy Bengals stuff as well. All right, everybody, we got 3 games to evaluate and see if I've done a decent job getting year 6 ready. You watch Tom Grossi? I do. I like his live streams. I watch him a little bit less when the Packers are playing well and probably a little bit more when the Packers are playing poorly. Steelers v4 just speaks to the offensive struggles throughout the series. Facts. That is true. All right, everybody. Preseason is underway. Here with the Steelers, and we'll start with the defense. Would I ever do a VR player career? What game would I be playing in VR? I would need something good to convince me to go pick up a PSVR 2. I was a fan of VR 1. As we're going to get some pressure there on the quarterback and get the tackle made. Manu Andrade is going to wear number 40. I'm in different software to stream, so I can't use my Telestrator. Most heartbreaking thing about that. That's a good run there for James. Wish I could circle things right now, man. Feel lost without it. I have watched some of Octagonal, but I don't watch a lot of sports gaming content in general. Usually if I'm watching something, it's going to be about sports or like other games, you know, the stuff I don't get to play nearly as much. Uh-oh. Almost got there, and it's dumped outside. Nice tackle. Kane, give us your best Collinsworth impression on the call. Now, here's a guy, Jordan James, He's really worked hard this year, and I don't know. I just know that he likes the, here's a guy, or the Collinsworth slide. Roderick Barber. Now there's a guy that you do not want to be in a dark alley with there. Roderick Barber. And now Manu Andrade with the big hit, dropping Jordan James, 3rd down and 20. Get our offense on the field. They loft it downfield. Oh, Bernal. Where's the awareness, man? Where's the ball skills there? Behind Joey Porter. I'm a little concerned about Joey Porter this year. Him holding up against some of the better receivers. To the right side with James. Gets the edge. Oh, really bad last couple plays for Nick Bernal. A lot of stars, right? That's part of why I'm not worried about us like being a bad defense. If our offense lets them be great, I think they'll be great. However, the offense, is not having anything to do with this opening drive that sees the Cowboys score. Bernal had a chance to end this drive. He did not do that. Andy St. Louis. Thoughts on J.J. McCarthy? I don't think he's played very well so far, but there have been very good glimpses. I do think, like the Falcons game, the offensive line put him in an unwinnable position. I think in the last game this past weekend, I think that a couple plays could have gone a little bit differently if, like, Jefferson doesn't trip. But I also think that KOC's play calling has not really treated him like an inexperienced quarterback at times. And sometimes you just got to run the ball a little bit and get some more easy completions in the offense. He needs to settle down some of the high throws, though. There are some misses on his part. And then I'm a little concerned when it comes to the passes batted at the line of scrimmage. I think part of it is the timing of when he's getting the ball out a little bit later, maybe holding on to the ball too much. And I like to see those get cleaned up as we get Felix Morantz. A solid carry, the new running back. All right. You wanted to see Bryce Lewis in the game. 3rd and 1, little play fake, and that's a KOC-approved play call right there, throwing on 3rd and short. I think I saw a stat that the Vikings faced like 13 3rd and 4th downs in their last game and threw it every single time. Something to keep in mind. But I still feel pretty good about McCarthy myself. There's a lot of running here, and we get to the edge. A stiff arm. It's Sean Mickens. So you can see a lot more of a running emphasis. And especially when we get into the red zone, we should see a lot more running than we're used to. Admittingly, I didn't think we'd run it like 5 of our first 6 plays necessarily, as Justin Guerrero is shaken up. I do not like that. So now 2nd and long. We will see McLeod throw it to Antoine Westbrook. All right, 35-yard line outside, and Morant hoping to see him break tackles and just be a good hammer. I do think KOC's play calling this year has been worse than in years past. I think that he has been a little bit stubborn this year. The offensive line was in a really bad spot when the season began. I think that he's expected McCarthy to kind of hit the ground running in a pretty aggressive passing game so far. Like, I don't think he's given him the training wheels much at all. 4th down and 1. Over the middle and incomplete. And the Cowboys will take over. I think that the one game where he kind of put the training wheels on was actually the game Carson Wentz started against Cleveland, where the offensive line was broken down. He knew that Myles Garrett could easily take that game over, and he actually did adjust a lot in that game, and it was, probably Myles Garrett's quietest game he'll have all season. I thought he did a pretty good job in that game. He drew up a game-winning drive with Carson Wentz. But yeah, that's enough Viking talk, I think, for the day. Let's see if we get off the field here. Got him 3rd down and long. No need to let this drive continue.
It's a gain of 4. Brings up 3rd and 12.
We send 4. Barber almost got there, and then we give up a big gain. I think what I'll be most concerned by is if we're giving up big passing plays without blitzing. It's understandable if we're aggressive and we give those up, but if we're just sending 4, and that happens too often, we have some issues.
It's a loss of 8. Brings up 2nd and 18. At the Steelers' 41-yard.
I don't think the Packers are cooked. I think that LaFleur, like KOC, is maybe not having his best year of play calling. Packers are also missing a lot of pieces right now, and Tucker Kraft was kind of what made that offense click. And then they lose Elton Jenkins. And, I mean, they're going to need to get guys like Jaden Reed back and Matthew Golden if they're going to make that look better. Because they have, outside of that Pittsburgh game, not had a great stretch. On the outside, good coverage out there. Well played. So I just want to make sure I know my numbers here. That was Sprinkle. I think we have second team in now. Rasheem Sprinkle. Nice little play there. All right, second team. This is what's exciting about the preseason, is seeing players we don't always get a good look at. So I'll probably give Goddard some of this, and then Amaro a good chunk, at least a quarter or so. And then for the running backs, Nick Johnson, who I think is the hammer, and then Zion Morris. Receiving back, you'll see really good acceleration and speed combo. He has elusive skills, 80 catching, 74 short route running. So he's kind of the Mickens backup for at least preseason. We'll use Max Leonard, Alejandro Gonzalez, Nick Watson, and Sergio Hargrove. Maybe some Dion Queen. Let me just get this set up best I can. Like, why is Chris Leonard out there? Justin Wally, Mike Matthews, Sprinkle, Cowan, Slade. And then the slot, we can make Alejandro Gonzalez. And then for linebackers here, it might be a little ugly. Let's get Escobar in there to get some snaps along with Eric Brandt. Can't say I'm stoked about the look there. Who do you like for Rams Seahawks on Sunday? Wow, that's an amazing matchup. I mean, right now, I don't think it's like a wide gap, but I'm going to go with the Rams. They're just playing as well as they have on top of being as experienced as they are. I think they're scary. All All right, the starting offense did not produce much, and now the second team gets a chance to run the same offense with Mason Goddard. Alejandro Gonzalez gives himself up there. I might have to look at that trade. It just doesn't seem to happen in the right moments. Second down. Oh, boy. Is that Micah Parsons? I'm not going to get a good evaluation as long as he's out there. I have actually updated the abilities. I can show you guys what I have. I reworked all of the superstar abilities. Almost had him. Throwing in the middle for Harold Fannin Jr. Yep, I have all the abilities, you know, I think that match the player personalities that we're looking at.
Fair catch, signaled for and taken. The Cowboys take over first and 10 at their 32-yard line.
We might not watch as much as the second team defense. I just think there's a little bit less to learn there. Not skip it all. Oh my. The big man? Who is that? Who is the big number 80 there? 6'6", 265. Why does he look like he's 100 pounds heavier than that? Come on. 265? There's no way. There's absolutely no way that man is 265 pounds. Matias Medina? No chance. He's a superstar tight end. Inside give. Fighting ahead. First down.
That's good for a Cowboys first down. First and 10 at the 45-yard line. The ball carried by number 29. Brought down behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of 2 brings up second and 12.
He's in the slot now. That's kind of it. Crazy. All right, third down, guys. Get off the field, please. Really, you love rewatching my Madden 18 Ultimate Team videos. Love the team building aspect you brought to it, and you weren't spending money ripping packs. Never seen someone nostalgic for my Ultimate Team content. We gave it up again. Oh, a whole lot more than the first down. I think 18 might have been the last year I even played Ultimate Team.
He's brought down at the 15-yard line. A gain of a yard brings up second and 9.
Blitzing, they swing it out, a backwards pass. Good open field tackle. Kind of scared of our third down defense right now. They have 5 third down conversions already. Someone make a play here. If you can't tackle that tight end, I understand. As Kyler Murray takes off. He's their backup now, and he's down to the 1. Oh, if the offensive lineman is hurt, you can just slide the tight end there. He'll fit in perfectly. Considering he looks like Mekhi Becton. Play fake, Murray. Ooh, incomplete.
Intended for number 29. Incomplete. Brings up second and goal.
Oh, I was all in on CJ Procise, man. That not working out was tough. Injuries, man.
Stopped short of the goal line. A gain of 1 yard on the play.
And sneaking in, Kyler Murray scores. So not too impressed so far with this opening showing. We'll focus a lot more on the offense especially because that's kind of the main thing I've wanted to evaluate, whether it's the starters or backups. But now from the 30, running on first down. Oh my, they're laying out our guy there, Nick Johnson. Micah Parsons is on the field. Thrown underneath. It's Nick Watson on the catch. Parsons is not fair, but Goddard, you know, he knows to take off. What we'll see more so with the other quarterbacks is that they're going to be more willing to run. I want to see Goddard and I want to see Amaro. 1st and 10, beating the blitz, barely. All right, finally working down the field. Here's Goddard. The former Jet takes off. Outside the numbers. He's taking a beating out there. If I trade McLeod, what would I ask for? A 1, multiple 2s? I think I'd try to get 2 1s or a 1 and a 2 if I could. Definitely a first plus. Inside, Johnson, 5 yards. Mason Goddard, 3rd down. He avoids the blitz. So we do get into scoring range this time just to go for it and get a touchdown to Watson? I assume that was a kick. I will take that. All right, 2-minute drill. Sign me up for that. One of my favorite parts of the game plan to customize is that 2-minute drill where I have passing plays that I think are money. Watson, getting a good look at him as he scored the touchdown in the sim. Yeah, outside of him getting hit 14 times, I do think Goddard's looked pretty good. Quick hitter, Watson. If he's actually dealing with a decent bit of wear and tear, I'd probably play Amaro for the whole second half. Seems like Watson's a target hog out there. 8 in coverage, underneath. Nice little play there. Leonard is who I traded for in the offseason. Now Goddard again, finding him. This is 2nd down, up the seam to Watson now. 5 catches, 56, and a touchdown. No timeouts left for Pittsburgh. Goddard coming across the middle now, and we'll see how we handle the no huddle. See, why does it get selective about sometimes running off 15 seconds and sometimes it doesn't? So that's going to be it for the first half. Oh, that's a bug there that I'm not trying to make happen there where there's no kickoff if I back out of simulating at that moment. All right, so we've gotten a pretty good look then at Goddard in this game. Why don't we get Amaro this last quarter plus? So Justin Amaro, and yeah, moderate risk of injury on Goddard. It's the right time to make that move. So Max Leonard, Alejandro Gonzalez. Let's put Dion Queen out there for Leonard. I just want to see if the young deep threat can show us anything, as he's kind of a roster bubble player right now. Straight ahead, it's Nick Johnson with a tough 9-yard gain. I didn't hear anything about a GTA movie. Is there one in the works? I feel like there's always a headline about it, like a video game related movie. But like every few headlines, it just gets canceled. There we go, Johnson. Got the first down. I have not played Dispatch, but I keep like seeing a lot of good things about it, and I love that style of game. As Amaro slings it outside. That throw alone might create a few believers here in the chat. Justin Amaro. As Johnson motions out, little swing screen here. Can't get through cleanly. But no, I haven't played Dispatch yet. I'm going to have to check it out. 3rd down and 11 for Amaro as he slides, fires, incomplete. At least he gave the receiver a chance every time. Get the ball back to the young quarterback, please. I haven't watched wrestling in quite some time, so I don't know anything about Cena's final run or what's going on there. All right, give us something to be excited about, Justin. Amaro dumps it to Fannin. If you had to do a ranking of all your franchise quarterback of the years, what would it look like? You do have to kind of separate the ones I've controlled versus the ones in like these rebuild series. I still think the #1 quarterback would have to be Brian Petrovsky and then maybe Richard Hudick afterwards. Like my Vikings-Giants run was insane. As Amaro goes down. I also think Shadon Underwood was like really good, even if we didn't get all that, you know, we took forever to win a Super Bowl in that series. So we had gone for it on 4th down and made it. So Amaro's show continues. Yeah, there's the happy feet on display. Like he is always moving. For better or worse, there are times where I wish that McLeod would move. Thought he was going to slide over that defender who had fallen in front of him, but a good throw to Fannin. Yeah, Greenberry was a great quarterback. Really unlocked when the running game came together, you know? Is Marquise McLeod in his Anton Greenberry era, where he needs an elite running game to put him over the top. I've still never added a running back as great as Perry Cummings, like the GOAT running back in any of my series. Amaro fumbles it away. Darn. Give us one more possession. Maybe tomorrow. J.W. Unger was great, too. The Cardinals franchise, man. We had a great run in that one. Roseman. Absolutely. I mean, the tier list is like elite, great, and good. And most of those guys, I think, are in the top tier. Chuck Johnson. I don't think he was on the Petrovsky or Hudick trajectory, but he was obviously very good. Got some upgrades here thanks to our work in training camp, too. Let's spend some of them. Nick Burnell. Tampa series, Tyrus Sparks was our quarterback in that one. Now let's improve the zone coverage here. You got to get your hands on a couple of those balls. Unger, Hudick, Sparks, and Petrovsky were elite. Lester Phelps was the quarterback before Unger and won a Super Bowl too. Yeah, the Lester Phelps era was a little short-lived. Little break tackle boost there for Sean Mickens. Manu Andrade. Let's improve the run defense. And Justin Amaro. Improviser gives him break sack, short accuracy, medium accuracy, throw under pressure. We'll get Detroit this week. Starters got to show us a lot more, though. That was not a great first showing. Yeah, I think if it comes down to me trading away McLeod, like, what am I doing? Like, am I trading away the quarterback and finding a different way to run the offense? I think, like, if I end up moving on from McLeod, I would love to find a way to get an elite running back. Jonathan Taylor at this stage of the series is now like an 85. It's still not really that good of a spot. I can show you what offers they'd give me for McLeod. Yeah, I'd kind of like to know myself. If it could work out where I sent McLeod to a team that could give us an elite running back and like a first-round pick, that'd be interesting. All right, before we start this next game, I just got to go to the bathroom quick, if you don't mind. So, 1 second. I'm going to hit the insert ad button. Give me 1 moment. All right, the show must go on, everybody. Let's get to it. Game 2 of the preseason.
Harrison Butker is set to kick off.
It really isn't a realism thing when it comes to getting off of McLeod as our quarterback. It's just, do I think he's the right guy for the job? And I didn't really doubt it until last year. And I've changed up things in the offense so I can evaluate it this year and then make my call. Running to the right. Not a ton there. I really want to see some positive signs in this game. Come on, McLeod. See, that is the play right there. That's the kind of stuff that has soured many on McLeod's play. No counter to pressure. 3rd down and 17. Now he does climb, but just gets dropped again. Yeah, I think like we tend to judge players based off of their ratings and overall, but quarterback more than any position is so dependent on traits and just how you handle pressure, what your risk tolerance is, and those things that make up the decision aspect of the game actually end up mattering a lot more than if like your accuracy is too low or not. Here's an inside give that Chris Leonard is all over, shutting down Jahmyr Gibbs. And here is 3rd and 10. 3rd and long was ugly in that first game against Dallas. Turn it around. And we're not blitzing. Here's a deep ball, single coverage, and the play is made by Hayes. So there is a positive sequence for the defense.
The Steelers take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
If we don't get any good looks with McLeod and the starters in this game, I would actually give Goddard a chance to at least get a couple drives in game 3. So this will still be a McLeod-focused game. Toss to the right now, and run down by Jack Campbell.
The tackle by Jack Campbell. Taken down back at the 23.
Run game not exactly lighting the world on fire right now. It's 3rd down and 9. McLeod now does roll, sets, and gets drilled. So what's going on down there then? You've got him. What don't you like about that throw? You gotta let it rip. It's Joey Riddick in the open field. Stock is falling. Running inside, and here's a little bit of a hopeful play from Sean Mickens. And now throwing short. Oh, come on.
McLeod's pass forced to the ground and incomplete. Brings up 2nd and 10.
Little misdirection. 5 for 4.
He was brought down by Zach Bourne. A 2-yard loss brings up
3rd and 12. McLeod, he's going to launch it now. When in doubt, let it fly. Joey Riddick, how'd he make that catch? That didn't make any sense. Touchdown, Steelers. That's McLeod's best play of the preseason. He's unreal. So there is, you know, a good positive, but we knew he could do that. We're not asking him to improve the deep ball. We're asking him to get better on first down, keeping the offense on schedule. Oh, we didn't look that great in the first game, to be perfectly honest. The starters definitely let us down a bit. The defense actually had some really bad moments in that Dallas game, just not closing drives on 3rd and long. Backups had some better moments, and now we're getting the second game where the starters haven't looked great, but we just hit a deep ball to Joey Riddick. All right, watching the defense again. Here's 2nd down, pressure, and oh, you're not getting away from Roderick Barber. The offensive playbook is using the Browns as a base because we had hired Kevin Stefanski. And I've made a couple tweaks to it. Is the once-in-a-blue-moon deep bomb hit worth all the standing-in-the-pocket sacks? I don't believe so. I believe that, like, the deep ball is one of the most overrated plays in football. It's amazing when it connects, but if you really think about it and look at, like, the course of a season, the best deep threats might catch a few of those a year in most cases. Rolling, knocked down. Unblocked pressure. We're living on 3rd and long, too long here. 3rd down and 20. McLeod climbs, and we're giving up 5 sacks. So Simmons over there at left tackle doesn't seem like he's exactly been stout. But, like, I do think McLeod's tendencies are turning pressures into sacks. Like, that's a bad play for Simmons. Ball still could have come out. Short of the sticks. But McLeod's play style leads to a high pressure to sack conversion rate, if that makes sense. Like, if he gets pressured, he's probably going to get sacked. McLeod. I'm getting my look now. Mason Goddard is entering the game. What scheme am I in? It's a vertical power run scheme. Although I'm not sure that our game plan really is as vertical anymore. Goddard finds Riddick. A basic play converted. Mason Goddard now. He's going to throw across the middle. It's Joey Riddick. So we got to look at Goddard with the backups. Now he's playing with all the starters. Running right. I am concerned that the running game looks terrible. Goddard To the outside, and he hooks up. That's a first. Justin Guerrero. And we are on the move behind Mason Goddard. And it's a run that they plug again.
Brought down behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2. Brings up second and 12.
Goddard deep drop. He's way back there. Fires a laser to Lee Getz. It's caught at the 15-yard line.
It's a gain of 18. And the Steelers first down.
Another run. Up the middle, there's some room. Felix Morant to the 5-yard line.
That's good for us Steelers.
And it's the best the starting offense has looked all preseason.
5-yard line.
Can they finish, though? Goddard scans, gets it away, and is intercepted. Again, they create pressure. It ends up in the hands of Jack Campbell. So, it was a good start. But another interception. Let's see him do it again. Lions going on like a 90-play drive here. All right, now here's the tempo stuff. Or here's the 2-minute offense. More pass heavy. It's Morant. He's going to try to get outside. Is it possible Detroit's defense is just really good and
27-yard line.
we're okay?
1-yard gain. Brings up second and 9.
To the outside. He just keeps running into people and then bounces off. Here's Morant. Wow. I suppose that was impressive.
And the Steelers first down. First and 10 at the 42.
But now it's Goddard time. Goddard got out of the way under pressure to Leggett. I'm sorry, that wasn't Leggett. Antoine Westbrook there. 89, not 19.
Brings up second and 2 at the 49-yard line.
Now short, and it's Riddick. See, like, I edit this playbook, and in my head, I'm like, this is more of a quick passing style of play. Then I watch McLeod run it, and I'm like, am I doing something wrong? But then I got Goddard here, and everything under 10 yards.
Complete to number 3. Out of bounds at the 43-yard line. It's a pickup of 3. Brings up second and 7.
Not the cleanest play there, but it's not a sack.
Number 89.
If your bad plays can be incompletions, that's an improvement. Third down, evading the pressure. Now he turns into a runner. He's got it to the 20. Goddard, he's trying to run him over, really trying to win over the hearts of Steeler Nation for this series. Mason Goddard on first down slings it. Inside the 10, Joey Riddick. All right. You're starting to forget about that interception to Jack Campbell. You want to believe. Jump ball! Intercepted! Double coverage. We're running the Wildcat this year. Why would you throw that? Is the second half How does it usually get structured here? I think we got backups coming in now. Okay. All right. I'll give Goddard a break. Amaro's going to play. We're going second team now. My brain kind of hurts. I'm going to put Terry McLaurin out there just so we have someone that can maybe get open. Watson looked good, so we're going to play Watson too. But without those interceptions, it looked good, right? Gotta be kidding me, man. He looks good until he's inside the 10. We need a red zone quarterback. I'm actually getting worried about this upcoming season now. What if this team is really bad? I'm going to watch some defense now. Off play action. He's dropped. Sacked at the 21-yard line. Second down and 19. Here's one that you got to pick. Yeah, why did you drop that? That was Cowan who had the sack, right? Third down and 19. He's scrambling. Fumble. That's the only reason we got the stop, is we forced a fumble. Nice hit. Justin Amaro is the quarterback. Amaro fakes to Johnson. Dishes it wide open. Terry. Or no, that's Harold Fannin. I don't know what number Terry wears. Is it 80? Amaro deep drop over the middle. Caught. Fannin's definitely getting a lot of targets with the second team. Probably, you know, pretty good matchups for him. Watson now motioning in. Another fake out to Watson inside the 10. Look at us. Now the offense looks like Sean McVay's calling it. And on the 1. Can't run. Can't even get to the line of scrimmage, man.
He was taken down behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of 2 brings up second and goal at the 4-yard
So now Amaro. It's run down. Ball ends up on the ground. We'll see if they end up reviewing it or not. We keep it. Do not throw a red zone interception. They're blitzing Amaro. He fumbled it. Our third red zone turnover. Detroit's just the best team in the league, right? That's all. Why is the red zone so bad? How many times should I have been fired in this series? Amaro. Dude! I am so confused at why we are this bad. That's 2 more sacks. Something ain't right.
It's now 3rd down.
He took 3 sacks on that drive. When we watch them, it's not going to look the same. That's Jackson Dart at quarterback. Four-yard run sounds pretty good to me. Now a nice little catch and run to the tight end. Inside, and again, they're at least getting past the line of scrimmage. How do they do it so consistently?
Tackle made at the 16-yard line. A gain of 4. It's now 2nd and 6.
Look at that space.
A 7-yard gain.
This is a second-team offense. Slider issue? I mean, it's slow sim. The sliders, I think, are even no matter what, because it's CPU versus CPU. We're on default all pro like it's always been. Look how easy that drive was. Now look how difficult this is going to be. I don't have slider edits. You know, playbook is probably the greatest difference. Up the middle, a big run, Nick Johnson. He's going to stiff arm and break loose for a 61-yard touchdown. All right, that was cool. Look, if my offense fails this year, I will hand off play calling duties. I will pick a different playbook and not change it, or I'll just, one of you guys can make a playbook and I'll just use that, and I'm not the play caller anymore. I might get Goddard back in there. I'd like one more drive of Amaro where he's not peeling himself off the ground every play. You got to throw the ball, though.
A 9-yard loss. It's now 2nd and 19.
2nd down, and now we get the ball out.
A gain of 9 brings up 3rd and 10.
3rd down and 10. Jeez. Who are some of these guys they're rushing, by the way? Like, what does their depth chart look like right now? Yeah, we're going to get Goddard in there. Derek Barnes. You know, Brad Virgil's a 77. That's not like an overpowered player in the game at this stage. I mean, Hayward's pretty good for this stage of the game. Okay, 79. I mean, it should be tough, but not like getting sacked a dozen times tough. To the outside with Goddard. Nice play. Mason Goddard.
Steelers, first down.
Ball at the 45. And that's on him.
A loss of 4 brings up 2nd and 14. At the Rams' 49-yard line.
Yeah, I mean, I've done the custom playbooks, you know, almost every year I've done this. And this is definitely the worst it's looked. Do we try just a base playbook in Game 4 or Game 3? Because, like, this is awful. I don't know why it's that bad. I think we got to at least see what it looks like. Because, like, the offensive line just does not do anything. A lot of picks. Felix Morant, 9 for 29. I like doing the custom playbook because of all the fun ways I can adjust things, but it's one of the only variables I've really, although I've adjusted it, I've still done custom playbooks. Maybe I just throw it out. Yeah, there was an update recently. I know that the update was downloading for me while I did the last episode of actual games, but I hadn't installed it yet. It was like, it was downloading while I recorded, so this is the first time that I've had this series on the update. But I mean, we've been having issues with this offensive line and everything for a while, but it's more so on our side than the CPUs is the thing. You know, series is all pro, like it always is. I have field goal accuracy down a bit. I have injuries at 33. And I turn off roughing the kicker. So what should we do for this last game then? Because suddenly now... Let's switch to one that is called like a more vertical power run, just based off of the description. I'd be kind of interested in the Chargers playbook. Kansas City's might be interesting. You want to try the Chargers? Sure. I'll do game 3 with the Chargers playbook. And we'll just see if it's any different deal. Mason Goddard, poor guy, needs to rest this week. I think Sim might consider the Steelers the user team. Well, even so, the sliders are still all 50s across the board, and I've done these series the same way for a long time. And it's just seemed to really gotten a lot worse lately. So we're going to just eliminate one of those variables here, the custom playbook shenanigans. So if the Chargers one ends up fitting, what I might do is just go in the playbook and take out like screens and stuff that we know doesn't work great. You know, it kind of sucks. I wanted to evaluate like my playbook adjustments and everything I've been trying to talk about lately. But at this point, call the Chargers offense. You think auto subs might affect sliders? How so? I'm not really using... I guess I have auto subs on, but I don't see how they would be affecting the offensive line not blocking or whatever. All right, final preseason game, everybody. Who knows what we're in store for? But we're sending out the defense first today. Watch out, a good return all the way to midfield. All right, guys, can we play some defense this week? Straight ahead with a big run. Arizona will get 15 with Trey Benson.
A gain of 15 yards. And the Cardinals first down.
Dropped off. 5 yards. You know, I don't want to try fixing the issue with sliders because I don't think that's... I don't have any reason to believe it's the sliders that like are hurting my side of the ball but not theirs. Especially on default 50s on All Pro. Yeah, I forgot they got Marco Rodriguez in the offseason, so Arizona's kind of scary now. First down. To the end zone, Benson. But yeah, it is weird seeing not just how bad our offense has been, but our defense in a lot of ways too. Mike Tomlin, loving that. So Marquise McLeod on an offense that is not in a good spot right now will try and end preseason stronger. He had to learn the entire Chargers playbook in 1 week. The unprecedented change of the scheme before the final preseason game that starts with a big run to the outside. It's Mickens. Holy cow, a 51-yard run. This should be the end for McLeod, respectfully. Let's finish this drive first. Inside, Moran to the end zone. 22-yard touchdown. Where did that come from? Can they do it again? We haven't had a drop back. We haven't thrown the ball yet. But the fact that we just ran the ball, and one was a slow developing play to the outside, and it worked. All right. Interest peaked. Let's play some defense. Boyd underneath. Keyshawn Boyd's a really good quarterback, around the 90 overall. So a great test for us here in preseason game 3. Here's a run inside. Trey Benson. Neither team playing any run D. Straight ahead. There we go. Finally a play. Andrade. Yeah, Gator, a lot's going on in this stream, actually, as we sack Keyshawn Boyd. Let's go. So, basically, if you're just tuning in, the offense was a disaster. Running the ball, passing the ball, it was just bad. And after 2 games, not being able to really understand the struggles, I've just broken out a different offense entirely. We went to the Chargers offensive playbook. We had a 2-play touchdown drive to start this game, and I want to see what's next. 4th and 3. Arizona's going for it. Boyd finds Trey McBride. The biggest thing is just seeing good offensive linemen get worked over and over again. Defense still has not looked great. Inside, straight ahead, and Benson gets 8 more. We might be changing the defensive playbook too. Fake. Boyd. Wobbler, but caught. Touchdown. At least he's not in our division anymore. Marco Rodriguez. You should trade him before season ends to get a solid pick or sign and trade at the end. Yeah, that's what I think I'll do if we end up trading him, Corey, is probably a tag and trade. You know, got to watch the whole season play out, see if we get the results we're looking for. But at this point, I think it'd be a surprise to see that great season that gets him an extension. All right, guys, offense is up. We had a 2-play touchdown drive, but both plays were rushes. This is the Chargers offensive playbook. And we run up the middle again with Morant. And a 6-yard gain. 4-man rush. Thrown outside, caught by Riddick. Across the 50. Another run. It's Mickens. I mean, even the receivers are blocking now. Marquise McLeod with 8 in coverage. Takes off. McLeod with the new playbook. He read the run when nothing's open page. Finish this drive. Guerrero.
up second and 5 at the 16-yard
Blitzing, McLeod. Caught inside the 10. XL.
It's a gain of 11.
Finish this.
For a Steelers.
Morant hitting the backfield. Hey, they can make plays too. That's a big hulking defensive end with no accessories. You know that guy is strong.
At the 8-yard line.
Play fake. Got it! He gave him a chance. Incomplete, but I'm not mad. Third and goal. Pressure coming. McLeod takes the sack. Still positives there. First sack of the day. And we had, chances. So, is Raid Shadow Jr. the OC? I'm scrolling up here. I'm trying to find some comments of when we made the change here,
Steelers 10.
just to determine how much credit we're giving him.
Cameron Dicker to kick off.
Well, you did say Chargers or Washington. You led with Chargers there.
At their own 30-yard
Multiple power run. All right. I'm interested in watching more. As Boyd runs right into Chris Leonard.
brought down behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of 2 brings up second and 12 at the 28-yard line.
Boyd underneath. And that one's caught.
Complete to number 18.
Marvin Harrison Jr. had his appendix removed, guys.
Gain of 5.
Whenever I see a player misses time with an appendectomy, I'm like, I've been there, man. I know what it's like.
Complete to Trey McBride.
I lost my appendix in 2016.
It's 4th down.
I think it was 2016. Pretty sure.
The Steelers take over 1st and 10.
Oh, yeah, he's not playing, by the way, for a couple weeks at least. Hand off, and Morant only gets one. Now, hopefully Leonard stays healthy this season. He got hurt a couple different times last year. And hopefully we put up some points. This is a promising start. Dumped. Gain of 3. My appendix ruptured in 2012, Kane. It's no joke. It sucks. Okay, now he eats the sack on 3rd down. Couple bad drive-ending plays. And a 3-and-out this time. We got to give it a good... I'm glad we got 3 quarters because I need the 3 quarters. Not every drive's going to be a winner. I have edited the abilities. I can show you what I've come up with, but they're all edited now as Barber puts the pressure on, and it's knocked away by Bo Hayes. Came in watching since 2012. That was 13 years ago. Just wondering if you've considered some veer and shoot with Arkansas State. Love the wear and tear. Adds a lot to the dynasty. I'm not too familiar with the offense, honestly. I'd have to learn some more of the unique college offenses that I don't see a lot of. Being more of an NFL guy. Chris Leonard on the pick. All the way back inside the 10. I'm glad. That's a good teammate right there. Good team play by Leonard because it makes us score with the offense, which is way more impressive. Come on. Fake. Stop blitzing. Come on, Chargers playbook. McLeod. That's caught. Inside the 5, Joey Riddick! Touchdown! He made it happen. Steelers score.
His kick is good. Makes the score Steelers 17, Cardinals 14.
We're still praising Raid Shadow for now.
Dicker to kick off. The Cardinals take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
What games you guys playing lately? What do you got popped into the systems? Because I know y'all are physical game collectors, no digital. You only collect physical media.
Right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. 2nd and 10.
Dispatch. Yeah, I need
Yard line.
to get on that one. Although the real me wants to wait for a physical copy to drop, but it sounds too good to wait. I'm sure they'll get one if it's a good game and sells well. BF6 Red Sec. I played a couple matches of it, but I don't see me playing a whole lot of that compared to the base multiplayer that I'm enjoying a lot. Hades 2.
Brings up 2nd and 9. At the
I have not gotten to play even the first Hades yet. I'm interested. A fumble. Barber off to the races. A touchdown. The defense now making some plays against a good offense too. Super Monkey Ball on GameCube. And that was a game my wife liked. Outer Worlds. Batman Arkham. Give Raid Shadow a raise. Surviving Mars relaunched or Helldivers 2. Yeah, I'm a Helldivers fan for sure. I have not played Surviving Mars or Surviving the Aftermath. I want to, both those games I want to check out. I think I have Surviving the Aftermath downloaded on my PS5. Path of Exile 2. I've never played that. The old Madden 25. NFL Head Coach 09. Head Coach is a good time, man. Although punishing at times too.
4 yards on the pickup. 2nd and 6.
Big run again. We have just been leaky as can be against that run. Mass Effect Legendary Edition. Got nostalgic last week after N7 Day. Boyd fakes. Dumps it off for a first down. I got a playthrough of Mass Effect 1 I've been working through here and there. I've never beat any of the Mass Effect games. Slowly working at games I have not yet finished, but I usually got a few going at once. I was playing some Expedition 33 a little bit ago. I think I'm getting close-ish to the end of that one. Football Manager 26. I heard that it's a really bad year for the game. I do enjoy roguelikes, so I know I'll enjoy Hades when I sit down to play it. I just haven't yet. Come on, guys. It's pitiful. There's a lot of variety here. You guys are playing everything. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Playing digitally on a Series S. That's okay. We'll allow it. Uh-oh. Andrade is shaken up. We'll see what his status is. Lego City Undercover 2. Man, that would be awesome. I thought the first Undercover was very good. Or the only Undercover, I should say.
Brings up 3rd down and 2.
Blitzing Boyd, he lost it again. Barber's going to score a second touchdown. I want to watch the offense, guys. I'm really trying to evaluate the offense. Mass Effect 1 is so slow to modern sensibilities. I agree. Like, there are different things in that game that slow you down. Like, the handling of the loot and, like, the gear in the game is a little bit slow, and the menus, you know, aren't as updated there. I'm assuming it'll just keep getting better the further I get. But and then, like, going from world to world and sometimes navigating the map. Like, every time I go to the Citadel, I get lost. Every time. Like, I like playing games with big worlds, but once you start having, like, multiple levels of elevation and it gets too complex, like, I start to kind of... You start to lose me a little bit just because I get confused. And you better have, like, a really good map if you're going to have, like, 3 levels of elevation and all these interactable spaces. Dude, could you just not be this bad?
It's a gain of 14 yards. That's another Cardinals first down.
Boyd slings it. Oh, God. Chris Leonard. I don't need linebacker injuries right now. So, Final Fantasy Tactics is the one that just got released, the remake. Like, I don't know how many Tactics games there were or anything, or if this is the original one that got remade. I know that it's going to be one I probably look to pick up sometime next year. I think I've probably bought enough JRPGs this year. I got to start getting through them. I'm starting to not like this defense because halfback dive is like a money play against us.
The kicker on for the point after.
Played through Armored Core 6. Yeah, I've never played an Armored Core game. I might check that out sometime. Feels like a game that could end up on the PS Plus catalog or something at some point.
The Steelers take over first and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
If we have no, what did that say, third down conversions? All right, finally, the offense should be rested. We've scored 2 touchdowns since they had the ball. Running outside, Morant. Had to get one there. Yeah, maybe a 4-3 scheme or something. I like our build for a 3-4. Good catch. I had great fun with the Metal Wolf Chaos Remaster. I actually have that. I played it for like an hour. It's hilarious. The entire premise of the game is that you are a mech who is now the president of the United States. That's the premise. And there's, like, you know, an alien threat or whatever. Come on. Third down and 8. McLeod, he resets and then dumps it. And Westbrook fights for the first. That's our starting tight end. I want to see more. Caught. Riddick down. McLeod. See, this is where I would get into the playbook, though, and start to take out, like, slip screens, because they just... The upfield pursuit in this game is so fast. Long third down for McLeod. Drives it to the outside. And we held up in pass pro.
A gain of 17 yards.
And now a keeper.
The quarterback keeps it on the option. It's a pickup of 6. Brings up second and
Somewhat impressed by that setup.
35-yard line.
The call, the slide, the timeout. Not bad. Raid Shadow, you are pulling the right levers right now.
Makes the score Steelers 34, Cardinals 21. Cameron Dicker to kick off. The Cardinals take over first and 10.
Do I miss Darnold in Minnesota? I mean, he's playing great, but I was always down for, transitioning into J.J. McCarthy, and I knew it would probably not be the smoothest thing. Been pretty bumpy so far, but I'm still, I'm still on the J.J. train trying to finally see this team develop their own quarterback. All right, let's see if they can do a good job again. I might give Goddard a drive. Fake to Morant. And pushing the ball downfield for Westbrook.
It's a gain of 16 yards. And the Steelers first down. A gain of 16 yards.
Now a fake. Quick dump off. Bryce Lewis. Man, Raid Shadow.
A 6-yard pick.
Lewis is on there again.
And 4. At the 45-yard
Here's Morant. But, even when there's not much there, I'm happy to see these runs are getting 0 or 1 and not losing yardage all the time.
2. Brings up
Third down and 3. Good protection. It is in there! Let's go!
That's good for a Steelers first down.
That's what I'm talking about. Move the ball down the field.
First down, Pittsburgh.
Running a lap is Westbrook, and it's Morant, gain of 1.
Carried by number 23. He's taken down at the 17-yard line. 1-yard gain. Brings up second and 9.
Not creating a lot there for him. Third down. Beat the blitz. Beat the blitz. Ah. Gave him a shot, though.
Cameron Dicker on for the field goal. A 34-yard
All right.
attempt.
I think I've seen enough to be happy moving forward with this Chargers offense.
37. Cardinals 21.
But now I'm wondering, how much do I adjust? I'm cool removing slip screens because we know the CPU isn't going to run them very well. But do I even throw my own spin on the offense, or do I limit myself to a 2-minute coordinator? At this point, I don't know if I trust myself to build an entire playbook in this game. Maybe I trust 2-point plays and the 2-minute offense.
He's tackled at the 32-yard line. It's a gain of 7. Brings up second and 3.
Keyshawn Boyd.
It's a gain of 11. That's good for a Cardinals first down.
I may have to take a back seat to building a playbook this year because my work has not been great tonight. I was proud of what I was working on Monday night, guys. Watching that Packer-Eagle game, I was meticulous with it too. Tracking like how many total plays I had, how many runs there were, adding in a couple new formations. I was really excited to show y'all. That's why we're live today. But ultimately, I wanted to see this offense perform, and I think we're seeing it perform. I just can't build a playbook this year.
First and 10 at the 29-yard line. Tackled at the 25-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup. Second and 6.
Boyd second down, and he does convert. I might be taking a little look at that defensive playbook, though, because I want to see the plays that they're all calling and try to understand better why we're getting gashed so much in the running game and if I want to stay with this playbook for another year. My entire philosophy is like whatever I go into week 1 with is locked in. You know, if I want to make changes, like now is the time. Off-season, preseason, once we get to the regular season, we're locked and loaded for the season to go wherever it falls. First and goal for Boyd. Barber! Oh, you heard those footsteps.
Thrown to the sideline and incomplete. Leads to second and goal.
Slam the door here in the red zone. Boyd steps up. Hey, Leonard's in the game. That's good to see. And anybody else just see Peyton Wilson hit him down?
A gain of 7 yards.
Third and goal. Unsuccessful sneak.
Quarterback sneak. Brought down just shy of the goal line. No gain on the play. Brings up 4th and goal.
Boyd, 4th and goal. Pressured by Watt. He won't get it. Well played. I will go into formation subs and take a look, especially if there are any, glaring issues. But I was already going to plan to do that just to make a few adjustments. All right, get out of the end zone. Get away from here. I'm terrified at McLeod taking a safety.
Marked down at his own 3-yard line. A gain of 2. Brings up second and 8.
Straight ahead. Big running lane. Morant.
13 yards on the play. And the Steelers first down. First and 10 at the 6.
And more. Felix Morant.
Another carry for the running back. He was taken down.
Got the fullback in there.
A 6-yard pickup. Brings up second and
We fake it. It's dumped. Oh, Bryce. Stay in bounds, man. Third down and short.
a gain of 2. Brings up 3rd.
It's an inside give, and Morant
The running back on
don't get it.
down behind the line of scrimmage. Bradley in formation.
So that might be it for McLeod and the main starters now in preseason. I was really happy watching this third game, and I'm interested to see the stats. I might even check them before we get to the backups, just so I can see third downs and all that stuff without any noise.
Marvin Harrison Jr. incomplete.
What did I miss?
It leads to second
Where
and
do
10.
I even begin? Boyd is going to take off and run for the first down. The TLDR recap is that I came into this stream to show off the scheme changes and the adjusted playbook, and it really did not go well. We weren't moving the football, and then we started to see sack after sack after sack. And in 2 games, it's like the offensive line looks awful. And I'm thinking, like, I've changed the players. I've changed the play calling. All I can do at this point is maybe just run a different playbook entirely. And so this game has been with the Chargers playbook that fits the power running emphasis we were looking for. And it's been a much smoother experience. And despite me trying to make a good playbook, and I thought I made one that was very usable, and I thought it had a lot of good wrinkles, I think I'm moving on from the custom playbook. And we're going to go into this year and see how it all looks. I would like a better utility fullback now. Lewis has been an okay contributor, but a more athletic pass catcher. Yeah, I could take a look. Because it does seem like the fullback's going to be used quite a bit in this offense. We've already seen a couple targets in the passing game even. Third down. This one's floated. Who airballed? Can I not back out? I might be stuck. What was that? I can't back out and make adjustments right now. Or check the stats or anything. Yeah, Chris Leonard's out here facing backups. That's what we need right now. Pressure. Jump ball. Broken up. That was a lot better. Yeah, that fullback we saw in the offseason, he wasn't even truly a fullback. If you see his blocking ratings, he was just a running back out of position. Like, he had run blocking of like a 30-something. Come on, back out and let me... No. Just going to have to watch this play out. All right, Mason Goddard's going to get this fourth quarter then, and he's going to hand it off. And I don't mind seeing some Sean Mickens. Holy cow, yes, that's good. Because, you know, I wasn't super convinced by Morant. I think I want to see more of Mickens than Morant based off of the preseason so far. He has a stiff arm, too, in his bag. He breaks that out often. Play fake Goddard. Steps into the open spot. Oh, there's a man wide open. I thought he overthrew Gonzalez. But there's Max Leonard. I'm like, he just totally whiffed. Goddard for Mason Taylor. Yeah, Goddard's mechanics will cause you to fall in love. But earlier in the preseason stream, don't let the Goddard fan club lose sight of his 2 red zone interceptions earlier. Goddard in the red zone, trying to show growth as a player. He has 3 red zone turnovers in this stream. If he throws an incomplete pass, it's an improvement. Well, we're definitely going to have O-line issues here if we have second team in. I want to see one more touchdown. Scored by the Pittsburgh Steelers. So did Goddard and McLeod both go to Nebraska? Do we have some storyline potential here? He rips this one downfield. Oh, he caught it. Attacking Justin Wally. Who's this quarterback? He's kind of nice.
Forced to the ground and incomplete.
19.
Second and 10.
From the 19, steps up. Uh-oh. Jalen Dalton feasting on the backups.
A loss of 9 on the play. Brings up third down.
Pressure through again. Oh! And he dropped it.
Incomplete from the contact.
4th and 19. Lob to the end zone and broken up. All right. Offense. Out of the eye. Fake. Throw. Ouch.
Intended for Mason Taylor. Incomplete. It's now second and 10.
Wick throw.
The second down pass.
Well, something else I'm not sure I'll keep in are like RPOs.
A gain of 4. And it's third down.
Third down, a keeper. I'm also not sure about quarterback running. So I'll definitely make some adjustments,
4-yard line.
but it's going to be more so just taking things out than putting things in. I might just limit my hands on the offense to like 2-point plays and 2-minute offense, like I said.
The Cardinals take over first and 10 at their own 29-yard line.
Now, the defense did have 2 touchdowns in this game, so it's not like the offense has scored 40. But even with like 24 points and just over 300 yards, it is a huge improvement off of what we had been seeing.
10 at the 50-yard line. Brewer's pass. Complete to number 87. It's a gain of 5. Brings up second and 5 at the Steelers' 45-yard line.
Second down, a laser, man. I signed Justin Wally to be our starting slot, and he's getting cooked here in the second team.
First and 10 at the 32-yard line.
Play fake. Floated a bad pass. Wally, do not do that. That's the most cornerback thing ever, though. You've given up like 4 passes in the quarter, and then a quarterback throws a bad ball, and cornerbacks are wired differently. Wide open! You guys allow a comeback here. I will be mad if we lose this preseason game.
The Cardinals will line up for the two-point conversion.
They hit the 2. Yeah, we can see the trade offers. I'm obviously not trading McLeod anytime soon, but if you want to see what teams would offer, sure. 4-minute offense now. Ooh, good move. Good return. Mickens, man. His elusive skills are even better than I thought. A keeper with Goddard. Not what I want here.
He was taken down behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard. Brings up second and 11. At the
Second down and 11 for Goddard, who will dump it. And it's Mason Taylor. Oh, he got it all.
Mason Taylor. A gain of 12 yards. That's good for a Steelers first down.
Handoff with a lot of room here. Who's 6? Oh, that's
At the 32-yard line. A gain of 9.
Zion, I forget his last name. I signed him like after the last episode I made as a 4th running back. Mickens has the first down. This is like the greatest preseason game of all time, by the way. 72 points. Goddard slings it to Max Leonard.
Complete to number 16. It's a pickup of 6.
All right. 2nd down and 4. Up the gut. We get it with Johnson.
That's another Steelers first down. It's a gain of 10. First down, Steelers.
Oh, and that's going to be game, huh? I guess. This is a Chargers offensive scheme now. Is it premature to hand off my play calling duties to another playbook after one preseason game? Nope, don't think so.
Gain of 14 yards. That's good for a Steelers first down.
We looked like a functioning offense, and we won the game. GG's. That, everybody, is the year 6 preseason. That was interesting. I think Marquise McLeod just won back a little bit of the belief. Now, the sacks we saw, they're still going to occur. All right. So, as an offense, we were 3 of 9 on 3rd down. Not great there. 1 red zone touchdown, 3 red zone field goals. Definitely some to work on there. And the defense kind of sucked. McLeod, though, was very good. Philip Brewer was that quarterback, by the way, who had a couple good throws in there. Goddard, 6 of 8, 73 yards. This seems like a very quarterback-friendly offense. And then Morant, 12 for 50. Mickens had a 51-yarder. 88 total. Looked good. McLeod scrambled a couple times. We had a couple good carries for Johnson and Morris. Riddick got a deep ball on him once. We spread the football around a good bit. And only 2 sacks allowed by the starters, it says. I forget how many times McLeod got sacked in this game. They did have 6 sacks overall. I suppose I can check once I get out of the game. Look at me leveling up my team pass. Fortnite did it, and now everybody's got to copy it. Game logs here for Marquise McLeod. So he got sacked 5 times in that game too. But he was also on the field far more. Let's look at Morant's comparison. Not really much of a comparison. And he was breaking more tackles in those first games. Mickens outplayed him, though. I think Mickens gets the lion's share early on. Morant is more the spellback. I think Mickens won that job. Very quiet stuff from Justin Guerrero, though. 3 catches. How many snaps was he on the field? A decent bit. Never remember where the schemes is. So vertical power run with the Chargers offense. I like how it looked. I'm a little bit scared to edit the playbook in any way, but I want to remove those screens. I just won't overhaul the playbook at all. I'm not going to set the entire roster right now. I just wanted to sim us forward and take a look at a couple things. I just saw CMC got cut. So this is Bryce Lewis. Good blocker. Not exactly dynamic with the ball in his hands, but good speed for a fullback. Do we want to think about finding a fullback who is more dynamic? Does that exist? Go grab CMC. Here's CMC. 83 overall. If we had like Mickens get hurt, I probably would immediately. Ooh, utility's higher than blocking. 80 speed. Does this show catching on here or nah? .69 catching, so high 60s, low 70s is about as good as it gets there. I guess I'm a little interested in Connor Morris, primarily. Try finding a tight end. Yeah, I mean, a lot of tight ends are a really good fit for that more hybrid role. Late career George Kittle at fullback. That idea kind of actually is incredible. Be fun to get somebody young that could develop into that role. Castaneda would be perfect. He's on a team. We sort it by break tackle. We get Jimmy Matias. Oh. No, different Matias. Different Matias. I think. I think we want a higher lead block rating, though, out of a fullback in this offense. Josh Oliver, of course, is going to be up there. Yeah, wasn't the Cowboys guy. Although I'm very interested. I mean, he's a superstar, so he's going to make their roster. He's a 27 overall, 80, or a 27-year-old, 81 overall. Let me take a look at Bryce Lewis's ratings again. 82 lead block. 57 catching. $69 here, 75 lead block. So I could kind of buy into Morris being a little bit better than Bryce Lewis. You like the George Kittle idea? You think he'd be up for it at 36 years old? Just like, hey, George, will you please become an H-back? You know, can you just become Kyle Juszczyk, one of your teammates, for us? It's certainly an intriguing idea. Wish he was a mentor. I'd make it a slam dunk. I'm kind of into the idea. I'm putting Connor Morris, oh, he's already on a practice squad. I'd have to sign him away. It is sometimes fun to see who's on practice squads at this stage. There are usually a couple opportunities. I know Andy St. Louis had gotten us a couple times. Star Dev 74. He might be better than Deion Queen. Yeah, I'd say he is. Deion Queen's going to the practice squad. And a part of our final moves here, we're going to sign Andy St. Louis. If he only made their practice squad, then yeah. Does he have good return skills too? 77. There. We're going to sign a player we saw play against us in preseason. Andy St. Louis. Yeah, that 97 acceleration is awesome. Same combo as Max Leonard, so, you know, very similar players. But we're going to take him away. Going to have to make some more moves at receiver. Debating on if I want to keep Terry McLaurin now that I have Guerrero. Because do I want, like, a non-mentor veteran receiver? Like, I can just sign somebody if we have an injury, but otherwise he doesn't have a role. So I actually think a trade of McLaurin probably makes a little bit of sense. Maybe just a player-for-player swap. Yeah, not all older players have a mentor tag. It's kind of hit or miss. Let's see Max Leonard versus Andy St. Louis quick. So both 93 speed, 97 acceleration. Leonard has a little bit better hands by 4. His route running. St. Louis better short by 2. Same medium. Leonard 3 better deep. 4 better release. So yeah, a little bit better, I'd say. At this point, I mean, Watson had a good preseason too. We'll see if Alejandro Gonzalez makes the team. I think McLaurin's out. Someone else has to go too. Hargrove is out too. I'm gonna have to cut somebody. Yeah, Liget is 29, so we're gonna have him for one more year as we develop Guerrero. Sign George Kittle there at the end, and I still want to hold on to Harold Fannin. So I think it's the young tight ends that get the axe. I think I want the 3 quarterbacks. The numbers might make Morris more of a practice squad guy. Kittle is a mentor, by the way. Is he? Did I miss that? Oh, it says he is. So yeah, that's a no-brainer then, because then he can help mentor Westbrook and do the fullback dynamic stuff there. That's fun. Yeah. Okay. And yeah, I might end up moving on from Lewis. I don't think he's got any practice squad eligibility. I'm excited to get into this new year now. I think that the Chargers playbook will breathe some much needed life into this series. And although, like, I just made this entire custom playbook and got it adjusted, it's still got the same idea that I was going for. It just ended up working way better. So yeah, I think that's all going to be taking care of our action today. And next up, we'll get into week 1 of the new year and see if we actually have ourselves a winning team this year. This was fun. I'm glad I went live. I'm glad that we found, hopefully, a solution for the offense. I do think Mickens is going to start here over Morant. A little bit worried about our defense, the way we got gashed in the running game and some of the downfield passes. Oh yeah, you want to see those trade proposals? No problem. Let me just save quick. We've been at this for a while. All right. Dax Hill and 3 day 3 picks. Siobhan Revel and 2, picks. Cooper DeJean, a 4 and a 7. We're starting to get somewhere. A tackle, a first, a second, a fourth. The Browns make a real offer. Tampa. Look at that. Star corner and a first round pick. Arizona, why? Fourth rounder and a running back. Abdul Carter and a 2. Man. Clay Wilcox? Can you imagine? 2 firsts and Jordan Addison and a second. The Vikings are the highest bidders in the trade? Wow. They've never seen a quarterback they wanted more. That's a crazy offer. And the thing is, the Vikings have JJ. I thought they were happy with him. He doesn't have the franchise quarterback tag. Look at how he's protecting the football, though. Are you sure you don't want to trade McLeod? 3 top 50 picks and Addison. That's an amazing package. Well, I can see why they're willing to give up on or give away Addison. They got plenty of receiver talent. That would be an incredible haul. And I think that they offered so much because of the value difference between an early first rounder and later. But at the same time, they're giving up later first round picks because they're supposed to be pretty good. And so you'd be willing to give up all that to go from J.J. McCarthy to Marquise McLeod. That'd be wild. What have the Saints done? The Saints are actually really smart right now. I got to give them some credit. Because they got Tyron Ridley atop their depth chart. And then I'm sure Joe Book will get an upgrade at some point. And he will go above Fields. And then Book's a free agent after this next year. So I don't think there's going to be any trade for Joe Book. As long as I have McLeod and Goddard. But in the offseason, who knows? I'm only tied to these quarterbacks right now for another year. But they are going to play Tyron Ridley. So maybe I'll look to trade McLaurin if I can find a fitting receiver-needy team. Like he could be a 2 in Chicago. Could be a 2 in Tampa. They're nice here at cornerback in Tampa. I know they had offered me Clyde Harvin in that McLeod deal. So it just kind of caught my attention that he was out there. Dude, trading Terry and a pick to get one of these corners. I got to see these cornerbacks a little bit more. So I'm telling you, Wally did not impress me. And Joey Porter's on the way down. All 3 are 26. Benjamin Morrison might be one of the better options. Harvin's a superstar, so you know that it would be expensive. Might be something I have to look at when I sit down for the next episode. Yeah, let's see their contracts, because I would be trading for their contracts. That's a big one there for Harvin. That one is long, but we could probably handle the money. They're all paid, by the way. They all got to be paid. So, maybe Jacob Parrish? Better tackler than Morrison. Maybe Jacob Parrish becomes the target. Let's see, like, I'm not expecting this to be straight up, and it really wouldn't be fair if it was. I hope they don't take this, for the record. But I feel like I might be able to get there. Maybe. I can't send them too many players because of their cap space. Tight end is a team need. I doubt they could absorb the Taylor hit. I'm not sure they can handle any contracts here. Yeah, 510K over. We'll see if I can make this work. I don't know what picks it would take to close that gap, but we might need the cornerback boost after what I saw in preseason. He might just be a better Joey Porter at this point. What's their tight end situation? Kate Otten. It shouldn't be their top need at all. 2-year contract on a 79. That's the situation where you draft a guy, not trade a guy. Yeah, maybe I can make this work, though. Just a lot of moving parts in there. I'm sure it will take a valuable pick. Like, I don't expect this to work. Yeah, it's going to take something valuable to close the gap, though. And for Mason Taylor, I'd have to have something else in return to make the cap manageable, which makes these trades tougher. Yeah, this is fun, guys. I'm having a good time. Do they have a fullback? Do they have the perfect fullback on this team? Yeah, it's, where's Vita Vea? Can't find him. Jason Elliott. 74 blocking. So not going to be more the dynamic type of fullback that I'll be trying to find. You know, one screen here I found that's pretty interesting is if you go to the upgrade position, maybe it's not in this part here, but you can find like a lot of players to trade for that have really good dev, or sometimes they are just on a practice squad and they have really good dev. Like Isaiah Anthony here, a 23-year-old superstar backup. Does get you a lot of fast, good information. I'm curious how hard it would be to trade for a superstar dev backup quarterback. 3rd round pick. That seems very reasonable. Like, as far as like a fair offer, a good offer for Green Bay. 3rd round pick for a backup with upside. I'd agree with that. Like 75 overall running back with X factor. And they're going to make you trade, you know, for that dev. They're not dumb. Well, they are, but they know they have dev when they got it. But yeah, if you're ever in franchise, this is like a menu to just kind of not overlook. Because at times it will show you free agents or guys on practice squads too. Fun stream, guys. I've had a good night here chilling with y'all. And hopefully year 6 is a good show as well. Thank you all for coming to the stream. And again, thank you to Control Freak. Check out the link down below if you're interested to save 12% on Control Freak products. Best controller accessories here in the game. I'm using the no-slip thumb grips here on my left stick. I got the Omni thumbsticks here. Or actually, these are the clutch thumbsticks on the right. Kind of mix and match them sometimes. I use the longer sticks for playing shooters. But yeah, thank you to Control Freak, and thank y'all for supporting the content and spending this stream with me. Y'all take care, and I will catch you all when the series continues. Have a great night.